What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter. And this topic is a little hard to tackle because the case is still open. But a lot of people have been asking me to tackle it. So we're going to do it, and I'm going to kind of explain to you what I believe happened. Only because the cops done charged the suspects. So I believe like I can give you my opinion on it, even though this can't be stamped because the case is still pending. New shit come out every day. So I don't want to give you a false opinion, but I do want to tackle this story because this is a fucking horrible story. Like, this some of the horriblest shit I can even tell you about. I ain't really witnessed no one take this type of beating. So I think this is important for the drill culture to understand. You have to watch who the fuck you have around you, because this is some dangerous shit. We're going to talk about William Pickering today. You probably know him as EBE Benz. He's a member of a rap group in Chicago called GMEBE. They kind of gained notoriety early in the drill culture. We seen them on Vlad TV. They actually has a white rapper in their group by the name of EBE Benz, who we talking about today. That kind of propelled him to a different level. You know, he kind of had the narrative and the story around him to kind of blow him up. I noticed that he was a white rapper, okay? That was one of the first things that I noticed, that he was a white rapper and he was claiming a gang set, which was the Black Stones, okay? Now, I know it might sound funny that he's a white rapper claiming a gang called Black Stones, but it is white Black Stones, okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, it is. I done seen the shit. And I also noticed that he was involved in a lot of beefs, okay? And he had a lot of ops from people like, you know, he had ops in St. Lawrence. He had ops in, goddamn it, Tucaville. He was beefing with like Billionaire Black. He was beefing with King Yeller. He was beefing with a rapper by the name of Bandana Rose and all kind of shit. I actually had a chance to interview EBE Benz. We did an interview. It was all good. You know, we talked about him blowing up in the drill culture. It was cool. I actually had a chance to interview this guy named Bandana Rose. This is Bandana Rose right here. In that interview, he kind of told me some things about EBE Bandz, that he wasn't from his neighborhood and shit like that. I don't think EBE liked it, the fact that I let that guy say that in the interview, but I couldn't let EBE Bandz dictate my platform. The guy had something to say. I allowed him to say it. EBE Bandz contacted me and said he wanted to do an interview. I was like, cool. I didn't even know that he was finna do what he did. He kind of ambushed me in the interview. This is what he told me in the interview.
And all this other shit. But y'all go up from hood to hood, interview motherfuckers and let them just talk reckless on the net. What the fuck? Motherfuckers don't want to kill each other even more, bro. Bro, y'all getting fucked up, bro. And you can record this. You can put this on the record. Bandana Rose don't want no smoke with me or now one of the top tenants on 79th and fucking South Shore Drive, boy. And he don't want no smoke with anybody on code. Fuck is wrong with him, boy? We vote. On my mother, bro. We beat his ass in the laundromat and should have recorded the shit. And one of the guys just chased him off the bus yesterday, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro? Motherfuckers be fun they move, man. On my mama, bro. And I ain't got shit to have, bro. I'm a white boy, yeah. I got a lot of choppers and glocks, yeah. I like to play with toys, yeah. Right. But I be out here and every motherfucking day, boy.
As you can see, he was pretty mad, but I think at the end of the interview, he eventually understood what I was talking about and telling him the platform. You get what I'm saying? I think he understood that it's a tough job, but it had to be done. So I had a chance to interview this guy, you know. And not only did I have a chance to interview this guy, I interviewed some of his other members. All right? So I feel like I had a small portion. You know, I could really tell you this story from my situation because I felt like I talked to this guy, so I got a feel of his temperament. You know, I'm not just guessing this shit. I got a feel of his temperament, so I feel like I understood him a little bit from the little conversations that we did have. What happened to him is fucking heinous, if you ask me. Some of the most gruesomest shit I ever heard. The police is claiming that 3 people came in this house, all right, and murdered him, okay? So they're claiming that he died in a house in Rockford, Illinois, okay? Okay, Rockford, he died in the house, okay? They're claiming 3 people were involved. 2 people got charged, okay? One never charged. I guess he got away. Nobody snitching. I don't know what the fuck. Not enough evidence to prove it. I'm not sure. But we're going to just talk about the 3 people. Okay? I looked at it. Now, this is what the police is alleging, okay? Now, you got to remember, I didn't talk to people who close to this situation. I didn't read newspaper articles from the Rockford Register-Star. It even reached over to the Sun-Times, but not a lot. It's like they didn't really care. So I had to look in other articles. I read police reports. I read a lot of things, man, to get to this shit. And also, you know, by paying attention to his account, because it seemed like somebody who was running his Instagram account really cared about his affairs, because he was posting updates every day on the Instagram account. I think it was his manager. He was letting the world know that these guys did that shit to him and they wanted justice. And I thought, you know, that was cool. Somebody wanted some justice from this guy and didn't really give a fuck what nobody was talking about. But I did notice that this 2 people charged. They're claiming that this guy right here, okay? These are 2 people who charged with his murder, okay? These 2 people right here. Now, they're claiming that this guy right here, okay? This is the one who beat him with a baseball bat. His name was Alvarez. So they claiming that he beat him, okay? A bat was involved to beat EBE Benz, okay? And they saying a guy named Alvarez, I think Alvarez or Aldez or some shit like that, he beat him with a baseball bat. I say, what the fuck? That's like some mob shit. What the hell? I couldn't believe this shit. I damn near was fucking shocked when I read that, but I couldn't stay that shocked that fast, because underneath what I read was even more shocking than that. They took his body after he died, okay? He took his fucking body after he died and drove it to a wooded area in Rockford, Illinois, and set him on fire. I said, what the hell? What kind of soprano, mob movie, weirdo kind of shit is this? I couldn't believe that something like that happened. That's a horrible way to die, okay? Somehow the police gets involved and figure out what happened. This become a top case. The police figure out, people get to telling, get to snitching. 2 people were charged, 1 person not. A guy by the name of Aldez or something, and a guy by the name, I believe, of Granger. Granger's charged with being a getaway driver and some other charges. This guy's charged with 2 counts of murder, okay? 2 counts of murder and some more shit from concealing a homicidal death and all kind of shit, okay? All right? This guy gets a 1M bond, okay? He gets a $500K bond, okay? The police reduces his bond, G-bond, to $25,000, $25K. He posts bond and gets out. He posts bond, okay? This guy bond is $1 million. We ain't got to worry about that, because that's $1 million. That's $1 million. He gonna sit his ass in jail. Nobody posts the bond when you get $1 million. You got to be a famous rapper to post that bond, and some famous rappers still can't post it. If they give you $1 million bond, you gonna sit in there. I'm telling you now, no one's gonna pay that $100K to get you out of jail. I didn't seen it. He paid that $100K. His family posted the $1 million bond. He pays the $100K. They pull their money together and they post bond. They say the family got together and put it together. I don't know if it was the family or if it was somebody else, so I wasn't really sure what the fuck. But I know somebody put that money together. They ain't coming to get your ass for no $100K. You feel me? Motherfucker better want to come get you for $200, boy. So you know they ain't coming to get you for no $100K. They came and got him for $100K. Okay? So I looked at that shit. I said, man, what the hell is going on? Hold on for a second. I say, man, what the hell is going on? I couldn't believe this shit. At first, you know, people saying the ops, they were accusing Chicago rappers of doing this shit. I'm not going to say the people's name because it wasn't a big thing. It didn't go viral, so I'm not going to help it go viral by saying these people's name. But they were accusing people of doing this shit. But when I looked at it, I said, ain't no ops did that. First off, it wasn't even in the Chicago area. The ops didn't do this shit. This was in Rockford, Illinois. So we going to take the op shit out. Boom. Okay? So I'm going to rely on what happened. When I seen what happened, people beat him with a bat, set him on fire. Then I also read, and this shit fucked me up, that these was his friends. These weren't strangers who seen them coming on the block, seen them pulling TVs and all kind of shit in his house, and they wanted to rob him and take his shit. These weren't strangers who was just hating on him. These was his homeboys. That was another thing that concerned me, that these was his homeboys, all right? So I'm going to tell you my conclusion, and it's kind of hard because the case is still open and things are still coming out. So it's things about it that's kind of hard for me to tell you, but I'm going to still tell you my opinion because I got 3 of them. First thing I thought was this was a clear case of the frenemies. Okay? I thought this was a case of the frenemies. His homeboys hating on him, his people hating on him. You know, he out there living that flashy life because he was a flashy dude, wearing them designer clothes, thumbing through them thousands on them Instagram posts. That shit start getting motherfuckers with that zombie-like hatred when you do that kind of shit. You got to be very careful. You got to stay humble, man. Nobody wants to be around an asshole. And I'm not saying that's what happened. But I felt like maybe his friends got irritated because maybe he was handling his success in a different way. You know, stunning on that internet for the women and shit like that. I thought this was the case of the frenemies, okay? And then I also thought the way he got beat with a bat, he was set on fire, some monster shit. I thought this was a case of running off on the plug, okay? Because normally people do that shit. I done seen that a lot because a lot of people don't know when you out here getting money, you out here hustling, and you making them big bags and your joint doing like them numbers, you be involved buying your way from people that you don't know involved with people in the cartel. You'll fuck around and be a regular street dealer and fuck up some money and don't know you done fucked up some real amigo shit, man. People high ranked in those cartels. You don't understand that. Once you start flipping them pounds and them keys and shit, I know it's just like some Mexican dude you getting away from, but trust me, that Mexican dude getting this shit from some dude who getting this shit from some dude who know Chico and them out there in them cartels and shit. And you fuck around, get her fuck around with that money. I thought that was another thing. I also thought that this was a case of a home invasion gone wrong. You know? People going in there to rob him, take his shit. Maybe he noticed who it was, maybe he didn't. But I felt like to kill him, beat him, throw him away, that shit seemed personal to me. That don't seem like no stranger. I know that's his homeboy, but he beat him like that. It's something personal. Seemed like he had a hatred. He had a hatred to beat a nigga like that with a baseball bat and set him on fire. So I felt like this was some personal shit. Maybe he was trying to kill him, get rid of him, hide him. He can never come back. Nobody will never know what happened to him. He can steal his money, steal his jewelry, steal his weight, steal his pounds, all kind of shit. I thought this was another case, allegedly. Now remember, these young men are both claiming not guilty. So I want you to keep that in mind before y'all get to hit in the comment section and shit. The police is accusing them of this, and people that snitched on them and said they did this shit, but they claiming they didn't do it. So we got to keep that in mind and make sure that we ain't going to place judgment on nobody yet. We're going to hold off on the judgment. But in my opinion, I think this is a case of all three of these. Sorry I couldn't give you a fluid answer on this because it's still an open case. At any moment, some new details can come out. So as of right now, from all the details and the information I got, I believe this was either a case of the frenemies running off on the plug or a home invasion gone wrong. And I'm pretty sure once this trial go on, these will probably get X'd off and one will probably just remain. But subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the homie Truth Teller. Keep your donations. I don't want your damn donations. No, I'm just playing. You keep your donations to yourself. I don't need anything from you. Support your own self. Keep that shit. Do what you got to do for you and your own. If you want to do something for me, I'm going to tell you how you do it. You stop what you're doing right now. You take this finger right here. You hit that like button. When you do that, it make my videos grow and a lot of people be able to see them. It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. Black.